Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So the first thing I'm going to be using is this Toofaced Hangover Primer. I really like this primer because it's lightweight, moisturizing, and I feel like it really does help makeup last all day. And then the next thing I'm going to be using is this rose water, and I spray it all over my face or my client's face just because I think it furthermore moisturizes the face and makes the makeup look a lot better. Next, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation as well as the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. The only reason I added the NYX foundation was to make the Too Faced foundation darker. I would have preferred if I could just use the Too Faced foundation, but this was a good alternative, and I'm just going to be blending that all over Daisy's face. So this beautiful lady is my roommate Daisy, and she was kind enough to let me use her face for this video. I kind of just wanted another client video because I know you guys really like when I do client videos. I would say client video, like she's not an actual client, but this is how I would do my client's makeup if they wanted to look like this. And her Instagram is daisychark__. So you guys could follow her, and I'll leave it down below if you guys like to. Next thing I'm going to be using is the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer or Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Macadamia. I obviously do use shades lighter than the foundation because I kind of wanted to brighten the foundation up a little bit as well as brighten her under eyes, and then blend that all together with a Real Technique sponge. I also did want to note that there are sanitary precautions that I didn't take just because Daisy is my friend and she could care less. But if you are actually doing a client's makeup for money or as a profession, there are like certain sanitary things. Like I wouldn't actually touch my client's face, so just make sure if you're doing someone else's makeup, be as sanitary as possible. Make sure to clean all your brushes, all your makeup, sanitize everything, and really do not try to touch your client's face. That's just a tip from me to you guys. And the next thing I'm going to be using is the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I make sure to tap out the concealer beforehand just because even in the few seconds of just leaving the concealer, it can crease a bit. It would be really bad to set the under eyes while stuff is still creased because then it will just stay creased. And then I'm patting in the Mercier Translucent Powder. I don't really like the term baking just because a lot of people leave just this millimeter of straight white powder under the eyes. I feel like that just makes it more cakey in my experience, so I'm just putting powder and almost blending it in. There might be a little residue afterwards, but I just blend that away. And this is the Smashbox Contour Kit, I believe it's called. I'm using the middle shade, which is basically just a warm tone shade. Personally, I don't like cool tone bronzers. I feel like it could look gray on the skin, and even though it's supposed to create a natural shadow, I just feel like it looks a little bit unnatural. So I like the really bronzy look, as you guys know if you watch my channel. So I'm just bronzing and basically contouring her face. I do fix up the contour a bit later with La Mercier powder, as you guys will see, but right now I'm just bronzing her complete face. So now I'm just going to be contouring her nose a bit. I do it on either side of her nose and also a bit at the tip. And then I take my La Mercier powder. I do it on each side of the cheeks, just right under the contour, so it cleans it up just in case I brought the contour down a little too much, as well as I do it on each side of her nose. This will kind of, once again, if I did the contour a little too much down, it'll clean that up. And I as well do it on the center of her nose because it'll bring light down the center and make her nose look skinnier. Next thing I'm going to be using is this BECCA Cosmetics palette. Obviously, as you could see, it is well loved. I also did break it, so that does play a part. And I'm going to take that middle color of the blush. It's one of my favorite shades for blush, and I'm going to be putting that on her cheeks. Usually by the end of the video, I do touch up and add a little bit more of everything, because with eye makeup, I feel like it really makes the difference and contrast between skin and eyes. But before that, I'm using this Maybelline Master Chrome highlight. You guys have seen this before, and I love this highlight. I love it because it's a cheaper alternative to like the BECCA Cosmetics one, and it's just so pigmented, and there's a lot of it, so I would totally recommend this. The next thing I'm going to be using is the SMASHBOX primer water. I know this does say primer water, but I can't really see myself actually using this to prime my face. I use it after I do the foundation because it lifts all the powders off your face, kind of diminishes them, and also it just makes you look really glowy. So that's what I like to use it for. Next, I'm going to be using the SANIAS Brow Bar Mechanical Eyebrow Pencil. This is in the shade Medium. I use medium because Daisy's eyebrows are already really dark, and I really only filled them in areas that are a little bit sparse. I don't even want to say the word sparse because Daisy's eyebrows are far from sparse, but as you guys could see, I just put them in two like tiny areas, and I wanted a lighter color to make it look even more natural. And next I'm using the NARS Matte Concealer Macadamia kind of concealer pot. You could really use any concealer. I don't really like to use super liquidy concealers because I feel like it's hard to control under the eyebrow, but I just grab her a pot because it's easy to take concealer out of, and I'm just underlining under her eyebrows to make them look a little more sharp and cleaner. Next, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Eyebrow Gel. I always use this on clients or just some sort of eyebrow gel because it really helps to keep the eyebrows in place and look really nice. This is the Tarte in the Bloom eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be using the lightest kind of pinky shade in it just to wash over her eyes. This I'm going to be using as a transition color, and it will make the other colors blend so much easier. Next, I'm going to be taking this warm tone brown shade. I am so bad at explaining what eyeshadow colors look like, but it's darker than the first one, and I'm going to be taking that in the outer thirds of Daisy's eyes. I'm almost doing a V-shape technique. You guys just see what I'm doing. I really like doing this for smoky eye looks. I feel like it elongates the eyes, and I don't know, it just works really well, so try it out if you guys want to. Next thing I'm going to be using is the darkest shade in the palette. That's more warm tone brown. And I'm going to be really concentrating it on the lash line and kind of taking it out just because this is the darkest shade. The next thing I'm using is this Makeup Forever Artist eyeshadow, and it's basically a dark red, a little bit pinky, and I'm going to be just washing that over everything. This is going to help blend everything in. It makes the slightest difference in color. I'm going to be taking this light cream color and I'm just putting it under her eyebrows. This will help to bring the darker eyeshadows down a bit if you feel like you went too far up, as well as it just nicely highlights the brow bone. Before I use any pigments, I'm going to be using the Toofaced glitter glue. I'm going to take a brush and first put that on her eyelid. So this will make it really tacky and make the pigments a lot more pigmented. I use this all the time in all my videos and I stand by it. By any eyeshadow look I do because I use it without and it's not as awesome. So first I'm going to be using the Makeup Geek Poker Face, I believe it was, and the MAC Cosmetics Tan Pigment. These pigments are crazy. I love these pigments. This one is Poker Face, so I'm going to be first applying this, and it's such a beautiful, like, deep gold. But I also wasn't really going for that look, so that's why I added the other one on top. So I'll let you guys know when I add the other one. You could kind of see the color difference. So now I'm just going ahead and I'm adding the tan pigment. It almost gives a more silvery finish, but I also feel like since I do have the two colors in there, it's almost like a duochrome. So it has a really pretty shimmery color, which I think went perfectly for this look. And next I'm just going to go back in with those shades. First, the darkest color that I used just in the outer corners. This will blend everything together. As well as I'm going to go back in with the color we used in the crease, the medium shade, and blend the shimmer eyeshadow in with the crease. I feel like this really helps to kind of just make the eyeshadow look as one. I'm going to go ahead and use the middle darkest color that we use, the one that we use in the outer V's, and I'm going to be buffing that into her lower lash line. So Daisy applied her own mascara. I do this before eyeliner. I just always have. So she's going to apply a thin coat just because we are going to be applying lashes on top. And the next thing I'm going to be using is this Lancome Art Liquid Eyeliner. It's in the shade Black, as you guys could see. And I'm going to be applying that on her eyelids and creating a wing. What I always do for my clients is I get them to look down, not close their eyes. And I sometimes even lift their eyelid up a bit so I could see more. As I'm doing right there, and I also get her to look at my shoulder or look straight ahead so I could see where the wing will be going. This really helps when people have different eye shapes. You could kind of see where you want the eyeliner to end up. Next, I'm going to be applying these Ardell double wispy lashes. These lashes are sick. I think they're my new favorite lashes. They're basically exactly the same as the Ardell wispies, but they have like a double layer. It's not so full that it just looks like drag lashes, but they look so nice and wispy. So definitely try those out if you have not tried them yet. The next thing I'm going to be doing is just pushing the eyelashes together with an eyelash curler. This makes it look, I don't want to say more natural, but it puts her real lashes with the false lashes, so there's not that extreme difference. And also it always feels better after you do this. It doesn't feel like you have these weird things on your eyes. And next I just got Daisy to put mascara on her bottom lashes, as well as I applied a little bit of mascara just to blend her real eyelashes and the fake lashes in. Next up, I'm going to be using the MAC Cosmetics Spice Lip Liner. If you guys do have troubles doing other people's lips, especially lip liner, don't worry because you could always use concealer to fix it, so you don't always have to get the perfect line. So I just gave Daisy a little bit of lip balm that she's applying right now. And then after that, I'm going to be using the NARS Barbara lipstick. I'm just putting this in the center of her lips, almost like an ombre. It kind of contours your lips like that too, you know, the ombre. Anyways, and then after that, I'm going to be using the Fenty lip gloss just to make everything look really pretty and shiny. So after I'm done doing a client's makeup, I always go back in to make sure nothing's oily. I usually add a little bit more contour. Like I was saying before, I usually wish I added more contour after I do the eyes. So I added a little bit more contour, I added a little bit more blush, and since I did that, I did take away a bit of highlight, so I added a little more highlight. I also took a bit of that highlight and put it in the inner corners of her eyes because I almost forgot to do that. It completely makes the look and also brightens up your eyes, so I added that in last. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial, and I know a lot of you guys like these client makeup tutorials, so if you have any suggestions, I see all of your comments, and I know you guys want me to try something new, so just leave it down below, and I hope you guys have a great day.